Well, we're back, and we are a little bit closer to starting this event at least. There's still 10 minutes left of this practice session. We're going to try to buy ourselves some time here. Robert Blazington, who set this up, we can get a little critical about this. There's a very long practice session for street stocks. Usually they don't do this hot lapping thing for an hour. Oh, and yeah, I see some guys in the chat talking about actually Jimmy's racing in this event.
Yeah, Jimmy is. He's
texting
on the
and
chat.
driving.
Wow.
Bro, you're texting and driving. Come on, man.
Too much practice time. We agree, Jimmy. But hey, we'll get to the racing here soon.
I'm still wrecking. Back here is Jack Young. Jack and Brett Perigo have been having some fun in this practice session, getting into each other a little bit.
Yeah, a little feud boiling here early. I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can see some of that translate to the racetrack. Hopefully with just good racing, not crashing, but good, fun racing would be great.
Yes, sir. We'll be happy to hear everybody give a shout-out during what we've got going on here. We'll try to talk about some of the people in the chat. We had David Land down here.
Absolutely.
While we've got some time to interact with everybody and watch race cars go in circles on their own before we get into the action tonight. We've got another joining the group now, Chris Fritz, Christopher Lynn, Brayton Laster, Jimmy Barr. Got a couple people here.
Yeah, we're getting a good lineup for tonight. Excited to see. Brett Perigo still looking fastest so far, but it's tough to say how serious they're doing it right now. Just getting a feel for the car and going into qualifying and seeing what they can do.
Oh, there's your lap times, Matt. We're looking at about a tenth of a second in between
Yeah,
first
no,
and
that is
second.
not much at all. Yeah, and third and fourth not far behind either. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out in qualifying for sure. Going to be exciting.
Yes, qualifying will be first. It will be 5 minutes for 2 laps of each driver. They will not be all out on the racetrack at the same time, so we'll have time to look at some of them, but not all of them. There's Brett getting into Jack Young again a little bit. These guys, they're having some fun. They try to figure out something to do with this time we've got with the practice before qualifying.
Having a good time, trying to push the limits, see how much you can really get into your competitors with getting away with it. So it's good. If we see this now, there'll be really hard racing throughout that 55-lap feature.
Absolutely. Now, Matt, I don't know, you've probably had it. This is Lincoln on iRacing is the first rendition of this racetrack in a video game since it was modded into R Factor.
Wow, that's interesting to think about. Yeah, you're right.
Because I remember, I used it a lot in R Factor.
Yeah.
I'm sure you did too.
Oh, yeah, definitely a good bit. I mean, being my hometown track, I've always wanted to drive on it, so anytime I could, it'd be great. And racing it here with you a few times, and today with the street stock, it's definitely interesting. It's a fast little track, to put it in the best way. It's just almost a half mile, but it races like it. It's very fun. It's good. It gives you a lot of passing opportunities, different lines to run, so it's very entertaining. And we'll have to see how these street stocks do. I've never seen a street stock race here at this racetrack, so I'm excited to see how it turns out. And as David said, I would take the over on crashes, so we'll see how that goes tonight.
Well, now let's talk about, so we've seen late models race here. Now, late models, that is a different breed, and not in a good way.
Yeah, no, late model racing at Lincoln Speedway or just any track, I feel like I'm not going to dive too far into that, but late model racing at Lincoln is definitely interesting to watch. As you can see, Perigo and Jack Young getting back into it again. Late model racing here is just, it's different. I don't enjoy it as much. It's also hard watching it transition from a 410 sprint car into a late model. It's just completely different to look at how they're getting through the turns. So we'll have to see if that translates over to street stocks. But as of now, I'm thoroughly entertained with the racing that we're seeing from these guys in practice already. So.
Yeah, Brayton Laster getting a little squirrely there on the inside. Bobby Blazer in that 4 car going down low with Jeremy Cross. There's 2 guys that I've seen those guys at the racetrack together, the 2 and the 4 right there, Bobby and Jeremy. They go to races that Matt and we get to go to sometimes with them. We see the 2 of them, and while the track's getting a little slicked off here, there's still some tacky parts, but when we come to race time, do you think the slick is going to be better driving, or do you think we're going to see more of what we're seeing right there with Brayton and Bobby?
I think we're probably going to see a lot of that. It's hard to control these cars. They're just very, very tough to control, heavy. So it's tough to say. We'll have to see how it slicks out, what it really does to these guys. They're also going to become a little bit more mature and comfortable with their cars through the night as well, so that has to come into play. But I think we're going to see a lot of contact tonight. These guys definitely are already being aggressive. Granted, they're just having a good time right now, not taking anything too seriously. But I think we're going to see some good racing out of everyone. But it's going to be interesting to see who gets faster throughout the night compared to now.
Yeah, definitely.
Excited to see.
Absolutely. And the lap times are not going to be getting any better on the scoreboard here because the track's all slicked off.
Yeah,
so.
absolutely not. This is the best we're going to see for a while, for sure.
Yes. So the track will be reset throughout the night, even though, I mean, it's not very realistic compared to the real world. You know, as you run the track in the real world, you don't exactly just make it magically get better.
You can't just exactly hit a button to make it go away. Yeah,
yes, but in iRacing you can. So that's what we're going to do tonight. The track will reset its how much use it's gotten every session we move over. So we'll see the track get young again, and it'll work back up to the point we're at now. Brayton Laster having some fun with that car. Suave. Do you use Suave?
I used to use Suave. I'm more of a Dove man now.
More of a Dove.
I've switched to Dove men care.
Yes,
I like that a lot.
I respect that. I really do. That's a good move. I think we've been stuck with we've been on the Suave grind for a long time in my household.
Nothing wrong with the Suave grind. Nothing wrong.
Although I will say, so my one roommate at college, his name was Chappell. That's not Chappell. That's Christopher Lynn right there. But Chappell, I don't know what he did, but he randomly came across 5 bottles of Axe 2-in-1 shampoo conditioner. And when we moved out of college, he just didn't want them anymore. So I used them sometimes just because I got them for free. You know? It's like... Yeah.
If it's free, you gotta use it.
Yeah, I mean...
Can't let that go to waste.
The best type... What's your favorite type of beer?
Free beer.
Right. And what's your second favorite type of beer?
Cheap beer.
Cheap beer.
Yeah.
Cheap beer. Yeah, so cheap beer, free beer, yes. That's why I use it sometimes. But Suave can be pretty affordable as well for Brayton. And I'm sure he's trying to keep it affordable because he's going to be running an ARCA car at Daytona. So
absolutely.
Going to have to... I mean, he's just like most of us, right? Save all your money and be a cheap ass until you get to the racetrack.
Yeah.
Right?
Fake it till you make it, honestly. That's really the key. So,
yeah.
Interesting to see the Suave car, good-looking car going around the track, and hopefully we'll see it in 4th in practice. So hopefully it shows some speed in qualifying and really jump-starts this night from the beginning.
Yes, and as far as I think we've seen, he's the only person in the session that is not a Pennsylvania driver.
Interesting to see. So he's the invader.
He is the single invader.
Wow, that's good. We're gonna call him the Invader tonight.
Yes,
that is his nickname. Excited to see.
I don't know. I think Chris Fitz. I'm pretty sure I recognize Chris Fitz from the PA Posse Discord. That there's a group of guys. There's a lot of those guys actually racing in this one. Brett Perigo, Jack Young, Christopher Lynn, Jimmy Barr, Jeremy Zarfos. They're all together, hanging out, having a good time tonight. I guess just screwing off with what we've got showing with the Eagle Bowl. And Jack Young got a little loose there. But yeah, there's a bunch of them coming in here. Jeremy and Bobby. Bobby's in the pits, but he's the one running the show. And actually, I guess we're seeing one of the quirks of Lincoln on iRacing. Interesting. I think this is the first time you've probably seen this, Matt, that in iRacing, the pit lane for Lincoln is the infield, which it mimics what it used to be a long time ago, right? Because the infield used to be the pit lane.
Correct.
And then they moved it to the outside of the backstretch. And then, so when they did that, they still had this area where they cut through the infield to go back to the pits, but they stopped doing that at the beginning of 2021, I believe.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, 2021.
So 2021 they stopped doing that, but iRacing's kind of in a way revitalized it by putting the pit lane inside the racetrack.
I like it. It's different. It's what I grew up with, so it's interesting to see. It just gives me a little throwback, a little nostalgia. So different, but I like it.
I'm with that. I think it's a nice touch.
Switching things up. Love to see it.
Yes. So.
As we have Jeremy Cross back out on the track.
Yep, there's Jeremy running the iRacing number 2.
And he pulls it in.
And he pulls it in.
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
Anticlimactic.
Let's go check out somebody else's race car. There's Kenny Swigert in the number 7. That's a unmarked, all black.
I kind of like it.
I'm
kind of a fan of that.
It looks pretty tough. I'm not gonna lie. Even with the bumper and the Rear end, the whole rear end? Yeah, it looks like the whole rear end in that sort of dark bluish green color. I think it looks pretty good.
Quite literally a dark horse for the night. Could be Kenny Swagger.
Yep.
Looking good.
Well, he was looking okay, and then did that. Well,
I'd say there's a minute left to practice. He's just trying to get through. That's all.
Oh, well.
Getting ready for qualifying.
Getting ready. 45 seconds before the session moves over. Jeremy Cross is coming back out on the racetrack. We'll give him another chance here. Jack Young's coming back out too. But 30 seconds to go. Once again, BBlazeVintage, 47 Technology, Apex Media, CP Racing Photography, Run-Ins Racing's Designs, Toonwitch on Dirt podcast, Jeremy Cross Photography, all partnering up for the Eagle Bowl, presented by BBlazeVintage and Robert B. Blazington, a.k.a. Bobby Blazer, who's running in the 4-car tonight. I'm Joe Donahue. This is my YouTube channel. My main man, my best man, Matt Faust, beside me. And we are about 10 seconds away from moving sessions and getting to qualifying. Go Birds.
Go Chiefs, man. Go Chiefs. I'm not rooting for the Birds, man. I'm sorry.
This is the Eagle Bowl, though. It's a bird.
I understand. I'm very patriotic, and that's what I'm thinking about Eagle right now.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is a different story. I won't be rooting for Eagles.
I didn't even think about that. It's the Eagle Bowl.
It's the Eagle Bowl
and the
on
Eagles...
the weekend. The Eagles are playing in the Super Bowl. Wow.
Yeah.
What a weekend. What a weekend for Pennsylvania.
That was not by design.
Yeah,
It really wasn't.
That's incredible. This was planned out way in advance when I thought the Eagles were going to lose in the first round. So that's interesting. It's interesting.
Alrighty. Hey, let's get some excitement going here. It's time for qualifying. Here's Jack Young in the 5-car. He will be one of the first ones out onto the racetrack. We might see some of these guys... I thought you named the race. That's funny, David. No, we didn't name it that way. It just happened this way. Yep. So we've got Jack Young starting off his first lap here. A couple guys, I think, waiting till the end of the first few minutes. Give themselves some time on screen. That'd be a great thing to do if you want to get your sponsors up on the screen. Here,
absolutely.
Is to let the rest of these guys start us off. There's Jack with his run off of turn number 4. And he puts in his first lap time. 19.132. To the top of the board he will go.
Not far off of his practice time, the best lap that he had there. So similar speed so far.
Yep. And Brett Perigo goes to the top now. 18.946.
Wow. Quick lap.
Yeah, indeed. We're watching Bobby Blazer here. So we'll see what Bobby gets out of turn 4.
Bobby looking to start off his night with success. Time coming in here. Is that the start of his first lap?
No, that was
no?
Yep.
Okay. So 6th fastest so far.
Yep, he was 4th. Now or 5th rather, and now he goes to 6th. Hey, somebody with a custom paint. Jeremy Zarfos. There you go. 19Z.
Beautiful looking
probably,
car.
Yeah. I would say probably got the Turn 2 Terribles podcast on there. Jeremy Zarfos photography. Well, he's putting in his 2nd lap time, and it is not going to be better than his first. Let's check out who else we got. There's our man, the dark horse.
There is the dark horse of the night. This is what we love to see.
So there's Kenny Swigert. He is on his out lap in the 7-car. And he is one of 3 who haven't, or actually he's not on his out lap. He's on his 2nd lap. This might be, something might be wrong with this car right here.
Something seems a little off right now. Tough to say.
Yep, and so he's going to, as Brayton Laster puts up a lap time, Kenny's going to keep doing this. Let's check out, Jaden Bingaman. There's another special paint.
Like the scheme so far. Looking good.
Something happened there when we jumped over, but we're back and we're good.
Great looking car. Love the chrome red finish on it. That's beautiful.
Yeah, and he actually, it looks like so what he's got is a spec map on that design. That's what caused that little pause we saw there, just loading in the game saying, hey, let's make this car look metallic and beautiful. But Jaden's going to put in his laps, and he's going to be 7th on the board. Not the best, not the worst. And
plenty of time to make that up.
Yeah,
plenty
definitely.
of time.
Everybody has finished. Brayton Laster's pointing the wrong direction.
He's having a good time right now.
Yeah.
He's ready.
So there's what you got for your first group.
It's interesting. Brayton Laster was in 4th at the end of practice, but 9th in qualifying. So everyone's fairly close. If you look in the top 6, everyone's pretty close on lap times. So Brett Perigo's looking, just been the fastest all night. So someone's going to have to come up to him. Maybe Jack Young's going to have to give a little bit more rubbing to him to see if he can get past him. But
We'll see if he's going to do that. I think the elbows will be coming out tonight. That's kind of par for the course with street stocks.
It's Lincoln Speedway with street stocks. You got to expect it.
Big iRacing. I'm a big iRacing guy. What can I say, David? Doing some donuts. I guess Brayton Laster's a little prematurely celebrating his race tonight. But kind of need it. We need something to do for a minute here.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, getting close. Have the heat racing up next.
Yeah. Oh, he just blew up the engine. Brayton just grenaded his motor. Maybe doing...
things you would not see normally at Lincoln Speedway just casually happen.
Yeah, well, the donuts or the blowing up the motor? Because the motor...
I'll take all the above. Take all the above. Just casually blowing your motor for fun. Not something you typically see. So.
Yes, sir. Trey Swigert down there said, I love me a dark horse, conveniently having the exact same last name as the guy we said was the dark horse. That's fun.
Also a Birds fan. I'm sorry I can't agree with you, but I understand. I understand. That's okay.
Yes.
It's time to bird up for the... Oh,
wow. Yeah, you remember. We was birding up at the 500 at the Eagle.
All right.
You know we was going to bird up. I don't know. Maybe David's an Eagles fan.
I mean, he's a Colts fan for sure. So, I mean, I don't know if he's really a fan of the Chiefs. So, that'd be interesting. We got to get your expert opinion on the Super Bowl tomorrow, David. What is the score going to be? What team?
David's too busy birding up at the Buc-ee's. You know we was getting the swishers at the Buc-ee's, David. All right, first heat race is ready to go. We got 6 of them lined up. Why don't we go ahead and check out our starting lineup as we get a chance here. So on the pole, going to be Brett Perigo in the 21, that blue and white car you see. Jack Young will be to his outside. Then you've got Jimmy Barr and Jaden Bingaman in row number 2. Last row on the grid's the Indiana native Brayton Laster sitting alongside Jeremy Cross of Jeremy Cross Photography, Matt. So first heat race is 10 laps. We got 6, and I think that means we'll have 6 in the other one.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Do we have cautions, or are we going to get through this all right with the track reset?
It's going to be interesting to see Brett Perigo and Jack Young actually racing legitimately based off of what they were doing in practice. Obviously, I think they're going to be a little bit more constructive with their time. So we'll have to see how that goes. They definitely have been 2 of the fastest cars all night. So interesting to see who's really better in a longer run and see just compared to lap time. So exciting to see the racecraft out of both these guys here.
Absolutely. Jack Young's car, I didn't notice it originally actually, but it looks like he's got a little bit of a something like a spec map, maybe on the 5 car, but there you go. Your 6 guys roll off, so they'll go 1 lap to get the 1 to green, and then we'll run back to Barney for the green flag. That'll be 10 laps on the first heat race. We'll have a second one follow it, and then we'll jump, I think, straight into our 55-lap feature race. So
Beautiful.
1 to green going to come out this time for us, Matt.
I'm excited here. It's like I said, Perigo and Young, the guys that I've been waiting to watch race from that practice session. Exciting to see. Got painted side skirts. Dale Jr. would really love that. So
yeah,
you gotta love to see it. And at the fabulous Lincoln Speedway, these cars are all looking fantastic in this first heat race. Who's your pick to win for this one, Joe?
Who's my pick to win out of this group? I feel like I'm going to go with the outside line. I think Jack Young's got a good line with the top side.
I'm taking Perigo. So perfect. I'm glad you didn't take him.
I figured we would. All right. You know we was about to bird up for the first heat race of the night, and we're green flag racing. Brett Perigo with a just mind-boggling good start.
That was incredible. You can't ask for much more than that.
Yep. There you go. So there's the battle now for second.
Jimmy coming in on the inside here. Jack Young with a good entry. See if he can hold that throughout on exit. Good momentum on the high side. He will keep the second spot, but you know that Barr is not going to let him get away.
No, he's not. Jimmy Barr kind of came into this session a little later than some of the other guys. He's in one of those Turn 2 Terribles podcast cars. This one's the white version. Car number 12, running in 3rd place right now, and way out of shape out of the exit Turn 4.
Have to see. We'll have Bingaman here coming up on him, as well as Laster looking in there. Good entrance for him. Not a great exit, but see Bingaman might get a run on the inside here. The door gets shut down by Barr. But Perigo is just comfortably pulling away at the moment as well.
Yep, it goes Perigo, Jack Young, and then this battle between the 12 and the 88 cars. Now, Matt, the question is, do you try to just stay in line right now, or do you get a little exploracious and go up a little more? You see, Brayton Laster seems to kind of be trying to run the lip. whereas the rest of them are kind of staying low because there's still a lot of grip down there too.
I think if you're in the top 4, you're really going to stay down low. You're not going to try anything crazy. But for Cross and Laster in the back, I mean, you can really start exploring, seeing what you can find later in the night. 55-lap race, you're really going to need to know everything you can and have a lot of tools in your box to make sure that you can do something late in the race, especially these guys. Looks like they're going to have to work their way up through the 55-lap feature. So for Perigo and the guys up front, really just look for the grip, keep a good pace, and get through this heat race with no issues.
Absolutely. So here is Brett Perigo down the back straightaway in car number 21. Nice corners. You would think that that guy drives race cars.
Yeah, absolutely. Just extremely disciplined behind the wheel, not forcing the issue, but hitting his marks exactly how he wants. Looking dominant so far. I mean, definitely if you look at the betting odds live on FanDuel right now, he's definitely the best odds. So, exciting to see.
Yes, and this race brought to you by Dirt Draft, because you can bet on race cars, you can bet on horses, you can bet on people doing other I don't know. I was going to say something, but then I was like, nah, I'm going to try to keep this PG.
Yeah, no, let's just keep it a little toned down.
Yeah. No, but seriously, if you have a gambling problem, you need to reach out and reach out to the gambling hotline.
Yeah, serious issue. Don't let it get too far.
Well, we're back with Jack Young checking out. He almost looked like he had a little bit of a slower exit out of turn 4 that last time, but we checked in with him and he's still running. I mean, there's a nice battle maybe shaping up for second place here. I don't know.
Barr getting right up to the back of him. That was a big move there. I feel like he should have maybe stayed in line, killed all of his momentum. So
indeed,
with 2 to go, it's going to be tough to gain that back. But I mean, he's looking mad fast, and Jack Young a little out of shape there as well. So we could have a good battle for second here on the final lap.
Jack Young went very far up the racetrack as Brett Perigo is going to come to the line and take the win for the first heat race. And we got trouble. We got Steve trouble. We also had Brayton Laster run a Ross Chastain
Yeah, we
line.
had a few Hail Melons back there.
Hail Melon.
That was great to see. Cross and Laster were both running that line. So, I mean, they were staying pretty civil for the first 9 laps, but that last turn was pretty crazy.
Yeah, man, they took that last turn and the gloves came off. Real deal. Well,
incredible. Wow, I was not expecting. I thought everything was just going to be nice and calm, and wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so good racing so far.
Hey, man, it made it interesting, though.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's got us talking, so.
All right,
good deal.
There you go.
Deal.
Give us something to talk about here. All right. Second heat race lined up, ready to go. Number 32 car, one of the Turn 2 Terribles machines, also got Jeremy Zarfos on the side. That is Christopher Lynn in the black car with the light blue mud covers. I actually really like that. That looks pretty sick.
That is a tough-looking car. I like it a lot.
To his outside, scored as the 3, but it's custom numbered number 19. That's Jeremy Zarfos. So he's sponsoring the car on his inside, and he is the man on the outside. There is Bobby Blazer, the host of the Eagle Bowl, in car number 4, and to his outside is Chris Fitz in a rusted-out old hunk of junk. We'll see what happens there. Rounding him out, as we've got Kenny Swigert not on the grid yet, and maybe a packet loss for him or something, because he's not present to come around to take the green flag. So we'll roll off without him. Austin Ripp will be the lonesome driver out on the 3rd row, with Talent coming soon on the side. I don't know.
What? Who do you think in here, Joe? Who are you thinking here?
I don't know. I took the outside line last time, and it kind of bit me in the tail. I might take, just for the sake of it, I'm going to take that rusted hunk of junk. I'm going to take the number 11 car, Chris Fitz. Let's see what happens with him. That's my pick.
I'm going to pick a car from the same row. I was going to go Bobby Blazer. So on the inside, see if he gets a good start and can give these guys a run for their money early and a better starting position for the feature. Obviously, that's what you want. 55 laps, it'd be nice to have clean air in front of you.
Absolutely.
So I'm sure that's what these guys are all thinking. And as we come around, this will be the green this time by.
Yes, sir. We're going to go green this time. We was going to get the Swishers at the Buc-ee's for a second time tonight, because we was going to rock a second heat race. We got 10 more on the docket. The throttle jockeys get up on the saddle, and we're green flag racing for the second one. Second heat race is underway, and a lot better start between all of them.
Yeah, absolutely. Good start. See, Blaze going to try to come up between him. I'm pretty much going to be commentating him. That's my guy. Oh, wow. Austin Fritz to the lead.
Great run down the inside for the 11 car as he slide jobs him. I missed the chance to pull a Donnie shot slide job. Oh, contact there. Zarfos into the side, and all out of shape.
And that opens the door for Bobby Blazer on the outside, as well as Rip going to be coming up on his inside as well. Interesting, we didn't see this much action last race until the last lap, so interesting to see these guys go at it here early.
Absolutely. Man, Jeremy Zarfos is having a horrible time with the start of this heat race. There's plenty of time left to do something, but for the moment, he goes back to 5th of 5. Christopher Lynn and Chris Fitz. We got two Chris's up there making a run for the top spot. And Kenneth Swigert has rejoined the session.
Kenny.
Whoa!
Oh, nearly contact.
Nelly.
Wow.
I don't know if you can call him a dark horse if you just don't. If he doesn't really have a. If he doesn't point. If he's not pointing in the right direction, I don't know if you can call him a dark horse.
I think we might have to change. That for sure. But yeah, the dark horse.
The dark horse.
Striking early.
Oh, well. Well, we're still having fun. That's what's important, right?
Yeah, exactly. And the two Chris's are still going at it for the lead here. I mean, this is just great racing by both of them.
This is a great run for the lead right here between.
Ooh, slide jump!
Big slider.
Ooh.
Up the track. Not enough horsepower to really get anything moving there. The 32 goes back underneath. Maybe looking for another attempt is that number 11 car as they come through turn 2.
Really running the bottom very well. It seems like he's really diving in there, but able to keep that momentum on the exit.
And they're up the track. I think that's kind of the momentum. Oh, my goodness.
No. Oh, no. The dark horse is still here.
The dark horse strikes again. Well, the inside line isn't too bad for Chris there.
Still a lot of grip down there for sure. Nobody's really exploring down there, but he's keeping pace.
Not too bad.
See here, going to try to stay in line. He might be able to get up alongside of him on the exit here. He is really running that bottom extremely well.
Well, what he's also able to do is Chris Lynn isn't able to move down to the bottom, so he's kind of stuck up top. And as the track moves up like this, it gets a little bit slicker because everybody else is using it. That's an opportunity for Chris Fitz to pull another slide job.
Is he able to keep the position? I think we're going to have drag race down the front straightaway.
Might have another over-under here.
We might have it indeed. I think he's going to be able to clear him off of this turn. Oh, he gets a little out of the groove there. Up on the cushion.
Yes, he does.
Incredible racing here as we come to 1 lap to go this time by.
Yeah, white flag on the second heat race of the night. They're going to be dead even at the line.
Wow.
Wow, that's a white flag.
Gosh.
Man, if that would have been the end of the race, that would have been really great.
Incredible. I mean, we might still have it. They're still going at it here. It looks like Lynn's going to be able to pull away, but don't count out Fritz just yet.
Oh, he almost fed him a right rear there as Fritz to the outside. Is the momentum going to do it?
Everything he can.
Here we come to the line. It's going to be Chris Lynn taking the second heat race.
Great racing.
Really great racing.
Incredible.
Bobby Blazer going to end it up 3rd. Zarfos in 4th, and Austin Rip will be 5th. 5 laps of the 10 completed by the dark horse. And now I think it's fair to say it's time for the starting lineup. And it's time to bring you... Yes. Or no, this is going to be... What is this? We've got... Oh. I got ahead of myself here. All right. So here's what's happening. So we only took the top 4 from each heat race.
Mm-hmm.
And we put those 4 from each heat race in the main. So what we've got now is the guys who finished in 5th and 6th of both of the heat races. This is the consolation. So this is going to be a mind-numbing 15 laps of 4 cars, and it will set the starting grid for 55 laps. So Jeremy Cross will roll from pole on the inside in the 2 car. To his outside will be Austin Rip in the 65. There's Austin Rip. Jack Young is going to be starting 3rd in this group. He had a really great run in his heat race, but was involved in some accidents that he finished last in his heat and will now roll from 3rd here. And the dark horse.
The dark horse in the back.
Kenny Swigert.
Well, turn it around, starting on time this time, so it's going to be interesting to see what he can do off the rip.
We'll have to see. He's following Rip. They'll maybe both rip the lip.
Absolutely. But great opportunity that you took there, Joe. I love that you didn't leave that hanging.
Bang.
Fantastic.
Yeah, we don't leave stuff hanging here in the pit.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Oh, we're almost wrecking the pace truck.
All right, I am going to take Jack Young here. I'm going to pick first this time.
You're going to take Jack Young. I'm with that. I'm with that. I'm going to take Jeremy Cross, my main man.
Absolutely. I feel bad not picking him, but I feel like I just got to switch it up. I feel like I pick the person in front all the time. So
Absolutely.
change it up here.
Yeah, great guy right there in that 2-car. Spent a lot of time with him at the tracks. Green flag's out. Let's see what we get.
Jack Young, good start. Maybe able to get something on the inside of Cross here. Hard to tell. They're about even, a little behind. Could hit a slide job as he makes contact. That opens the door for Rip as well on the inside.
Austin Rip going to try to capitalize here. And down into 1 and 2 again. He really is going to lean on Jeremy.
About dead even as they come down the back straight across with a little bit more momentum on that high side. But got to believe we're going to see another slide job here. Ooh, not able to get it done.
Not quite. Jeremy with some momentum up top. It didn't work for him, though.
Jack Young pulling away with this. Where is the dark horse? We got to check in on that.
Where
have
is
15
he?
laps. Where is he at? Oh, wow. Okay,
Oh,
we could
yeah.
have just been a little bit more patient. We would have found it. But
Yep.
all right.
And
Oh,
no!
the dark horse
Oh, he
strikes.
turns Austin Rip. Oh, and he's upside down.
oh, no!
Oh, put that on the flip count.
What
we got
is
one
happening here?
We got one upside down on the front stretch. Now he's going to be
And the
stuck.
fans all standing still in stunned silence.
And there goes the dark horse.
Tough way for the dark horse to go up. That really just opened the race up for Jack Young. Is he still in? Yes, he still is in first.
Yes, so Jack Young's going to be the leader. Rip, unfortunately, got handed a little bit of the short end of the stick there. Well, a little bit, as in he got handed the short end of the stick there.
Yeah. Directly handed the short end of the stick. Yes.
100% he was given the short stick out of the bunch. Yes, he was the one that had his name drawn to go to the Hunger Games for that situation. So we've separated everybody pretty significantly. Jack Young is leading and being very exploracious to the top of the racetrack because, I mean, why not? You've got plenty of time to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's what really gives us, I mean, unfortunate to see that. We had some great racing there for the lead 3-car battle, but, you know, it really gives them time to learn more about the track, really test the limits of their car. I mean, after the practice session, they really know what they can do, but really get themselves prepared. And they're getting laps right now that the guys in the feature already just aren't getting, so they're getting a little cold, and these guys will be warm and ready to go.
Absolutely. Oh, Jack Young had a maybe a little bit of a connection error for a split second there. Got me a little nervous. There's Jeremy Cross. The number 2 on the side is his position in this B main constellation as well at the moment. There is Jeremy running pretty smoothly. Not much more to it. Jack Young is motivated.
Yeah, no, you got to watch out for him, Jimmy, in the feature. He is doing well right now, and obviously a little bit of luck going his way. But, hey, 55 laps, there's going to be luck that has to go your way to be up there at the end. So
Yeah, well, you might have an advantage, Jimmy, because the 15 laps of this consolation might give it a little bit of an edge to Jack to fall asleep during the 55 laps. So you might have that on your hand. And hopefully these guys have some NOS or Monster Energies or something.
yeah, hopefully the guys in the feature already aren't falling asleep. You know, they got to wait, so hopefully they're just getting locked in and focused. We know Bobby Blazer's definitely listening to some Kendrick Lamar right now, and Travis Scott getting locked in for this race.
Yeah, you know, Bobby Blazer's going to go full Astro World. I'm not talking about the part where the people died, but the other part.
The sicko mode part,
Yeah,
for sure.
sicko-
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Bobby Blazer's going to be the highest in the room, for sure. Well, we're filling it, but we got 5 laps to go. It'll be 4 laps at the line. There are 3 cars driving around in circles right now. And, you know, as race fans, you're used to people saying to you, oh, you just like watching you just like watching cars go in circles for fun. That sounds stupid. And it's not, but
We're all having a great time right here. The people in chat, us, we're having a great time watching this, and hopefully the drivers are as well.
absolutely. We ought to be drinking for doing this. That'd be a pretty good time.
Oh, gosh, yeah, that would be a new series we could start. That'd be
Yeah.
interesting.
Drunk street stocks at Lincoln.
Lincoln Speedway.
They had to do that in real life. Why not?
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure that's how it would go anyways, so.
Yeah. Just get some of those rowdies who sit right down in there in the infield of 3 and
Oh,
4.
yeah.
There's always drunk people in there.
Turns 3 and 4, that's the sweet spot of Lincoln Speedway. That's
Yeah.
where you have some of the best blue-collared people around, just enjoying racing and enjoying themselves
Yeah.
in general.
You can run into a lot of people who are past drivers over there, too. Or people who are in this race right now. I'd be very surprised if you wouldn't be able to find guys like Jimmy Barr or Jack Young down in the pits or in 3 and 4. maybe up in the grandstands, but I don't know. The grandstand's kind of where the older people sit, isn't it?
Yeah, the younger crowd definitely drawn to the infield. It's just, I mean, it's a small track, so you still get a decent view of it. So really nothing lost sitting in the infield at this racetrack. Compared to a place like Williams Grove, you get to a bigger event, it's a lot different.
Yes, it is. And Jack Young's going to win the consolation. Second's going to go to that guy, Jeremy Cross. Sing it.
Just having a fun time with that car.
Austin Rip's going to get third place there. And we're going to get ready for our A-Main.
Yeah, 3 and 4, Jamie, definitely the place to be.
I'd be very surprised to say that I guarantee I've at least walked past Jimmy Barr in my lifetime. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're in 3 and 4 at Lincoln, definitely. Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, well, here we go. Let's set them up. Guys are going to come out onto the racetrack. I think we've got a warm-up, actually. Why do we have a warm-up?
Hey, man, those guys that weren't in that last feature, they need a little bit of warm-up.
They need the warm-up, more like the wake-up.
Actually, that's probably the better way to define it for sure.
Oh, well.
Absolutely. If we still got David Land in the chat, David, who are we picking for this race? Who is the favorite right now?
Yeah, let's hear it out for everybody, too.
Yeah, exactly. Throw in the chat who you guys think is going to win this race.
Let's hear it. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'm going to sub myself in there. Subscribe to Matt Faust's channel, too. Matt's been posting a couple volleyball videos lately that have been doing pretty well. We're looking at some more sprint car content this year on his channel as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Running Down a Dream series will be finished here shortly. Have a lot of them that are unedited. So the videos are there. They've been recorded. They just need edited. So that's my fault.
Oh, my man.
We'll get there. I'm dropping the ball.
Man.
College is a busy time right now, okay? It's busy.
Yeah. I did that.
You would know.
I did. Yeah. I would know. I did that.
Yeah.
I had my time in life where I was a very busy lad doing that kind of stuff. We'll try to bring you the lap times of the drive. Here we go.
There we go.
Yeah.
Look at that. And no surprise, Brett Perigo up front.
Yeah. This racetrack's been reset again. So it's going to be Young and give them, not Jack Young, but the track's physically going to be Young again. So it'll give Brett, I would say, an advantage because he seems to be really good on the track when it's still tacky. Do you think he's going to have that same ability when it comes to the end of the race and the track's more used up? Because it seems like Chris Lynn was really getting his legs under him when it got slick.
Lynn was looking extremely quick in that second heat race. But, I mean, Perigo, it's tough to really put money against him when he's the only one who's been putting lap times under 19 seconds tonight. So it's tough to bet against him, but it'll be interesting to see if he can adapt throughout the entire race. 55 laps, the track's really going to change, so it's going to be interesting to see who moves from the front, or from the back to the front, and obviously vice versa.
Absolutely. So Bobby and the Dark Horse have yet to put up lap times in this session, but I don't know. It's fairly similar to what we were expecting, except I don't really think I expected Jack Young to be in 7th of this group right now.
No, I did not either. He was looking very fast, so it's going to be different to see. He's going to have a lot of work to do starting in 9th, I believe, so that's going to be an interesting race for him.
Mm-hmm. So we'll take a quick second here, one more time. Just one more time, I promise. And we're going to check out our partners of the program tonight. Obviously, BBlazeVintage putting on the show with the Eagle Bowl. That's an Etsy shop. Vintage t-shirts, that's where you can go to get some quality shirtwear. Matt's Christmas gift from me came from there. Nice old school Aaron Ott shirt.
Absolutely. That's going to be the shirt. If you see a guy wearing an Aaron Ott shirt who kind of looks like a goofball at a track this year, it's definitely me. So. And
by goofball, he means extremely good looking, tall, handsome. That's Matt Faust.
I think goofball still fits.
Well,
so,
yeah, maybe. Yeah. All right, that's fine.
You'll know it when you see it. Don't worry.
Anyway, 47 Technology along the side. Presenting the trophies for tonight. That's a 3D printing service also on Etsy. You can go check out 47 Technology there. Custom solutions and all sorts of goodies on that end. Apex Media doing some really great stuff on TikTok and for a lot of drivers, media pages in the central Pennsylvania area, but traveling out to Eldora and Knoxville last year, I'm sure they've got a lot of other stuff online. Go check out Apex Media on TikTok. Their stuff is some of the top tier quality content you're going to see in dirt racing on the media side. Dunewich on Dirt, relatively new podcast series. You can Google them up. They have YouTube uploads of those podcasts, and the race winner tonight will be invited to go get themselves interviewed on Dunewich on Dirt, so go check them out, established in 2021. Runnings Racing's Designs is Gavin. He does all sorts of good work for graphic design, comes into iRacing, goes out into the real world, branding, all sorts of goodies, even promo videos for some drivers, such as drivers in this race tonight. And CP Racing Photography, sort of on the local side in the central Pennsylvania area. But they're taking pictures and posting them. You can go look them up, CP Racing Photos on Facebook, and see what they've got going on over there. So, we filled the time as much as we could.
Good job, John. That was incredible.
We try.
Wow.
we
you're,
try.
you're good at this, man. You're a seasoned commentator. I'll give it to you.
Hey, we try. More ad breaks than NBC. That is a low blow, David. I'm disappointed to hear.
That's a tough one. That's heartbreaking.
Got to do what you got to do. But now I don't have to do it anymore because finally we are ready to go for the race tonight. And why don't we bring the starting grid to the screen, talk about the starting grid of the Eagle Bowl.
All right, starting first, the dominant car of the night is the 21 Brett Perigo. On his outside is the number 32 Christopher Lynn.
Starting on the inside of row number 2 in the 5 car is going to be Jack Young, and to his outside will be Jeremy Zarfos in car number 19, scored as the 3.
And David Land's pick to win is the number 12, Jimmy Barr, who's been looking very fast all evening, and the host of this race on his outside, the number 4 of Bobby Blazer.
Oh, you know what? This is returning the wrong grid.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yes, this is great.
Okay, fantastic.
That's great stuff.
Well,
yes.
we were killing it.
We were killing it. That is the wrong starting lineup, my friend. That's not so. We pulled a Marty Reed right there.
That was pretty tough.
Tough deal.
All right.
Yeah, so let's try it again. Brett Perigo and Christopher Lynn are going to be starting on the front row. Then you got Jimmy Barr and Chris Fitz in row 2. Jaden Bingaman and Bobby Blazer in row 3. Brayton Laster, Jeremy Zarfos, they make up row 4. Then it's Jack Young and Jeremy Cross. And then Austin Ripp and Kenny Swigert are going to make up the last row on the grid. Matt, 1 to go, 1 and 2. Pace Truck's going to pull off this time. Final thoughts before we go racing.
Just to correct what I said, David Land's pick is the 21 of Brett Perigo, so you can see that he is really not putting any faith in that 12 car and going with what he said. But, I mean, Perigo's been looking good all night. It's going to be interesting to see who moves from the back. Jack Young was very quick, got caught up in some trouble, so here we go.
And the green flag is out. We was about to bird up for the Eagle Bowl, and it's green, and we're gone. Let's see what happens into turn number 1. Brett Perigo with a nice start. Christopher Lynn gets fed a right rear from, I guess, his teammate in the 12 car, Jimmy Barr. And Barr is going to go single file with Chris Fitz now moving into 3rd. And a big race going on back here.
Oh, wow. Incredible racing in the back. Jack Young falling back on not what I said, or not what I predicted, so let's see if he can work his way up. Still plenty of time left in this race, so no worries.
No worries. Jeremy Zarfos still all over the place, a little bit on the bottom side. He's probably used to running a winged sprint car, so this is going to be a little new for him. Brayton Laster ought to be one to run pretty well. If he's running an ARC car in real life, he probably has the wits on the street stock a little better than some of these winged drivers that we're seeing here.
Ooh.
We might have a 3 wide battle for the lead. We definitely got 2 wide for 2nd. And will they work together?
Wow, this is great to see. I mean, Chris Fritt's been fast. I mean, he really worked it did not take much time to get up to 2nd. So let's see if he can chase down the leader here. But I think he's going to be caught up with these guys for a little bit more, which may let Perigo pull away.
Yeah, well, Perigo very easily has pulled away so far. So he is gone, Gone, in the 21 car right now. Chris Fitz has a nice battle going on with the two turn 2 Terribles machines, the white and black. They run single file for the moment. They've got Jaden Bingaman right behind them in that 88 car, and then it's Jeremy Zarfos, So he got his wits about him a little bit there. They're running single file right now. It's getting slicked off more and more, but there's still a little bit of life in the track.
I think they know that there's definitely a lot of time left. If they keep battling each other for 2nd, they're not going to be anywhere where they want to be for the end of the race fighting with Perigo. So really got to chase him down, keep your car in tune, and see what you can give Perigo, because he is just looking at, just as we mentioned earlier, extremely disciplined driver, running the line he wants to every time. So it's going to be tough to catch up to him, but that's their focus for now.
Absolutely, it is. Oh, contact back here a little bit. Chris Lynn. Oh, but we got one around. There goes Jaden Bingaman backwards on the backstretch.
we have a caution.
We have a trouble, Steve. We got Steve trouble.
So this is going to be interesting to see here. I mean, Chris Fritz was looking quite fast. He was able to keep that second place pretty easily. So if he has something for Perigo, it's going to have to be shown here.
Yes, it is. So why don't we go ahead and try to catch a replay, and we can do that right here. Let's click this button. All right, let's check this back again. So we're going to follow the guy who caused or not the cause of the accident, rather, but the guy who spun out. So here's Jaden Bingaman in the 88 car. Right in front of him is the 32 of Chris Lynn and Matt. I think this is just going to be a little bit of misjudgment on the 88 car.
Yeah, absolutely. Just gets in there a little bit too much, and yeah, that's not what you like to see. He gets a little contact from behind as well. So not something you want in the first 7 laps of the race, but you still have time to catch back up. So,
absolutely. Probably wouldn't have happened if Zarfos wasn't right there.
No, yeah, absolutely. I think it would have just played out as it was. They would have gone away with it. We've seen that a few times in the race so far. So interesting to see. Just bad luck, but early in the race, still have time to recover. So you can't be too upset. Got to stay focused and keep your eyes on the prizes.
Absolutely. 7 laps completed. Caution laps do not count. So we will be here for a little while. They go double file for the restart, though, so that means the one to go has been given.
Do yellows breed yellows? That's going to be the question.
That is the question. I was about to ask about Brett Perigo, because he doesn't have that straightaway and a half lead that he just had anymore.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's like Fritz has been looking very well. See if he can give him a run for his money here, but Perigo off to another great start. Oh, Fritz hits the inside wall. And that allows Barr to get up on his inside. Oh, no, the other Turn 2 Terrible podcast are going to go past him. And Jeremy Cross looks like he has worked his way up as well.
And big contact again.
Oh, no.
Yeah, cautions do breed cautions, Matt.
Yeah, yellows breed yellows, so that's unfortunate.
Well, the yellow hasn't actually come out yet.
Actually, I mean, we might have gotten a little ahead of ourselves.
This 12 car.
Yeah, I think these guys want a caution, for sure.
Yeah, they probably
and there it is.
There we go. Well, that was twice that Jaden Bingaman got handed to it by Jimmy Barr. Jimmy's got suspension damage on the front side, on the outside. As you can see by...
oh, they're still getting into it.
Man, that's so tough.
Man.
Well, I don't know if Jaden actually wanted to go to the pits, but...
He got put there.
He got put there.
Yeah. No.
So Jimmy Barr goes in, and well, I guess we can go ahead and get a replay again.
Oh, they're still going.
They are still going at it. So let's go all the way back here. So
this is the beginning. This is where it really starts.
Yeah, here. This is going to be the restart. So let's go from here, and we'll watch along with Jimmy Barr. Chris Fitz, good restart, and turn one's where it happens, Matt.
Yeah, turn one just got a little bit. Everyone's just trying to get to Perigo, but they got to realize they got to stay. It really starts with Fritz here hitting the inside wall. That allows Barr to get into him and really just bunching up everything from there.
Yeah, and that's where that suspension damage comes from on the 12 car. Unfortunately, that's the kiss of death for him, and everything else is kind of a result of it. Although this is the part where Jaden Bingaman kind of comes up the racetrack and across the nose. That might be on Bingaman right there.
Yeah, no, that was just a misjudgment completely there. No need for that, but...
Bobby Blazer gets a piece of it, too, in his own race.
Yeah, I hate to see it for the guy.
Unbelievable.
Hate to see it.
Well, that's your replay on the first bit of it, and then we saw everything else come to. They're going double file for the restart now, so we'll cut back to live, and we'll see what becomes of the restart. We've got a new driver on the outside of the front row. Jeremy Zarfos is up there. Chris Lynn in third, and good restart once again. Brett Perigo, is he even stoppable tonight?
It's going to be tough to see. The one car you got to focus. The big winner out of all of them is probably Jeremy Cross, moving his way up into fourth. So it's going to be interesting to see what he can do as he looks to fight on the outside here. But Chris Fritz also needs to gain back his spots.
Oh, man.
Contact with those two.
Yeah, you did almost jinx Jeremy Cross right there.
I did. That could have been poor.
Whoa, Chris Fitz gets in there deep.
Oh, Jack Young also still there, fighting for position. So interesting to see.
Well, they're still trying. We're side by side for fourth place, side by side for about to be for sixth place and for eighth place as well.
Double file on the way back, other than the front three.
Yep, a big slider.
Oh, slide!
Huge slider.
Wow, and it works.
It worked too. Yeah, well, he tagged the front end of the 2 car. Brayton Laster in the wall.
Yeah, I've been seeing a little bit of that Suave car, not doing everything it probably wants right now.
Ooh, Bingaman sideways.
Oh, no. Barr and Bingaman again.
Jimmy Barr.
Will we see a yellow? I don't think we will.
Yes.
Oh, we will.
I didn't think we were going to get yellow for that either.
And we have a caution.
We got trouble, Steve. We got trouble.
So this is going to be a Zarfos. We weren't really watching it too closely, but he was keeping up with Perigo for a few laps, and then Perigo ultimately just running, as we said, sound like a broken record, just extremely disciplined behind the wheel tonight, not putting a wheel wrong. So if someone can catch him on a restart, if he makes a mistake, that's really the opportunity that these guys need. But still, plenty of racing left to go here at Lincoln.
Yeah, this is very short into the feature. There's a lot of time left for things to change, but it took him a few laps at the start of the race to get his wits about him about the track, and ever since that second yellow that took Chris Fritz and Jimmy Barr out of the way, the Zarfos car has been pretty solid. Although Chris Lynn's right there and Chris Fritz is back in the picture as well, especially getting past Jeremy Cross. I think that's kind of your gateway to get back into the battle for the lead.
No, absolutely. Being in that top four, that's really, as we saw, the three cars up front were going single file. So really getting out of the way of the tough racing that's going on in the back and putting down fast lap times and seeing if you can get by your competitors if they slip up. So
that's definitely what you got to do here. I think we're going to get the one to go this time, so we should be able to go back to green flag next time, which will be good because we can get a couple more of these laps ticked away. Pace truck, will it pull to the infield?
I think we're going to go this time by. Lights are off.
Yes.
Here we go.
All right, so we'll come back and get it again. We still got all 11 of them. Well, we got 12 of the 11, or excuse me, 11 of the 12. We don't have 12 of 11. That would be pretty cool, but we have 11 of the 12 still out on track. We have lost the dark horse, unfortunately.
It's a tough loss to see, but ooh, Chris Fritz on the outside. Can he make something happen with it?
Ooh, we're sideways.
Oh, we have trouble. We have trouble.
We have trouble, Steve. We got Steve trouble.
Interesting. We got Laster there involved.
Brayton Laster
as well as Christopher Lynn.
But Brayton didn't really have anywhere to go there. Christopher Lynn.
He kind of got caught up in it. He was in the aftermath of it. Definitely not the start.
Yeah. Well, tough break for this one. Another turn two terribles. Jeremy Zarfos photography machine. Why don't we go ahead and try a replay here? Let's see what we get. Let's go back. Let's watch this again. We'll go from the start of it. And this is where the green flag comes back out. Brett Perigo is way too good at this. We need to do something about that.
Yeah, I don't know. We need to bounce performance there for sure.
Yeah.
Something. A great start out of Chris Fritz on the outside. Oh, you can see Cross gets into the back of Lynn.
And
Jack Young does a great job to avoid that completely. Laster nowhere to go there.
Yeah, tough break for Laster, not having a chance to get around that. But I wouldn't put the blame on Chris Lynn for that. It's just kind of the way that the track goes. I mean, when it gets slick, it's harder to control the cars, especially with them having such heavy cars here tonight, especially heavier than what we're used to seeing at Lincoln Speedway. So, got to have some control of the car going into the corner. And unfortunately, the guy who's in front in that situation, he may back it up a bit, but Jeremy Cross, who's behind him, the guy behind, you don't always judge it perfectly, and unfortunately, that's what happens. So.
It's a racing incident. That's really all it is. But racing incidents at short tracks can turn into more. So
they can. We do. See. We do enjoy a little bit of beef every once in a while.
Absolutely.
I do not shy away from my red meats. So that could make it a little interesting as the single file restart. Now we've had a single file restart for the first time tonight. Brett Perigo using it to his my.
Jeremy Cross could get a lot of momentum here on Fritz. Actually, Jack Young still looking good in that car.
Well, Fritz even had a really good run into the first corner.
Yeah, absolutely. He was looking good. I thought he was maybe going to lose a little bit of time. He got out of shape, but still looking well. But, I mean, surprise, surprise, Perigo with a great restart.
Yeah, good run. Oh, Rip.
A little contact.
Yeah, Rip and Bingaman right there.
Yeah, Bobby Blazer fighting back here as well.
Bingaman's got a pretty good car at this point, which is surprising because he's wrecked it 3 times.
It's incredible to see that car passing other things and not getting past. So, good racing out of these guys so far.
Well, there you go. So that was the battle for 6th. It was pretty much the best one to watch on the track, but now we've got Jack Young going at Jeremy Cross here down the backstretch.
Jack Young got up in some trouble tonight. Definitely.
Ooh.
Wow. Okay, but still gets a decent run off the turns.
Diamonds that corner
Wow,
nicely.
that was incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, he is showing some fight and some grit early in this race, and he still has time to work with, but definitely probably going to need another caution, get past a few more cars, really challenge Perigo.
Oh, you said the word grit, you goofball.
Oh, my fault.
Terrible, terrible. Alrighty. Nice run up the inside that time again. Some contact. Well,
may be able to get it done here.
Woo!
Slides up in front. Oh, Cross going to cut back down under him. And this opens up the door for Bingaman as well. This is a 3-car battle.
Jaden Bingaman's in the picture indeed. That 88 car trying to make something work. Jack Young, Jeremy Cross, they go to the top side of the slick spot.
Oh, saves it. Wow.
Save it, baby. Yeah. Nice run.
Well, that car has definitely seen a lot of action from Bingaman here tonight. So
interesting. Dirty slider out of Jack Young, giving him a little bit of a shove of the rear end of the 5 car, but Jaden Bingaman stays up in front of him. The 12 car, excuse me, side by side with the 65 behind them.
Oh, a desperate slide job thrown in there into one.
Yep, and Rip goes all the way up the track into the fluff a little bit to avoid it, but it doesn't hurt him too much. Once again, we're going to see that 12 car.
Oh, contact. Cross and Bingaman. And that will open up the door. See if he comes back, gives it.
Oh, my
retaliation gosh. Indeed.
Oh,
yes.
We got Jack Young.
Oh, we've got trouble in the back.
Goodness gracious.
Oh, Jack Young having a great run there.
Oh, it's a demo derby in the back end.
Slicing his way for the field. This is looking like the clash all over again. David, you called it. So.
Ooh, Austin Rip rotated.
Rip really out of shape off of 4.
That was a lot of over-rotation from the 65 car there. This is a hell of a race back in the tail end of the grouping.
If this was the fight for the lead, we would have so many people in here watching this. This is incredible.
For sure. But this is the race in the back half of the field. We started with 12. We are down to 10. We've lost Brayton Laster and Austin Rip side by side with Jack Young. That is a battle for sixth. Excuse me.
Oh, another over-rotation. Contact. Christopher Lynn gets into Rip.
And Rip called it.
Oh, Rip just ends his night there.
He brought it back to the pits.
Unfortunate to see.
Tough break.
Had a good night going for him in the beginning. And there is Perigo. This has pretty much been the thing of the night. I think he's just trying to beat his lap times at this point if he can. So
hopefully he doesn't get too bored running up there so far.
Yeah, I mean, he might fall asleep. That could be a factor.
That could be a factor.
This is an endurance race around Lincoln Speedway for sure.
It is for sure. There's Brett Perigo, who's been leading very easily. Jeremy's not too far back. Jeremy Zarfos, that is.
He's been the only person to really keep up with him and not let him get too far away tonight. So another caution. I'd be interesting to see what he gives him.
I think him and Chris Fritz didn't really have a good duel with Perigo, but he, in his heat race, showed he might have been a factor in this. Unfortunately, some bad luck has come his way. He still rebounded to 3rd. Not terrible,
He still fought his way back, so incredible to see out of him. He's had a lot of misfortune come his way tonight in this feature, but still in the top 3 in a podium spot.
Could be one to watch. I don't know. You think we're going to hit lap traffic at some point in this?
I feel like we will with the pace Perigo's putting down. It's going to be tough to see. I'm not sure what the difference looks like right now overall on the track.
Well, if we zoom out a little bit, let's see what's going on here. So we'll check in with, Austin Rip's Austin's in the pits, excuse me. So Chris Lynn is coming out of turn 4. He's the last car in line.
Not far.
Yeah.
Not far. If this stays green, he's definitely going to be able to catch up to him. You just look. I mean, he is just flying around this place. So uncontested and really, hopefully he's having a good time. Hopefully he's not bored up there.
Well, he's even running straight in through the middle of the slick part of the racetrack too. So he's just trying to get through a couple laps here. We might even see it rubber up by the end of this.
We may, yes. It's just interesting to see how the difference that he has compared to everyone else. He's just pulled away in everything so far. The only person to have a sub 19-second lap in practice and qualifying. And the warm-ups. Dominant car of the night by far. He's looking like Freddie Raymond, 410 sprint car around this place.
100% he is, and right now Brett Perigo has no trouble anywhere around him on the racetrack. We have surpassed halfway. For all of those of you who are watching along with us, thankfully we are past that point, and we are on the countdown. Brett Perigo in that 21 car, you're seeing him lead the way. He has led the entire race so far, as well as the qualifying, warm-up, heat races, everything. There's Jeremy Zarfos in the 19. He is running 2nd He took him a minute to get up there, but ever since he's been up front, he has not had trouble yet. And so he's got a pretty easy run. For second right now is Chris Fritz, who you see in third place in the old rusted out number 11 car, is trying to wheel and deal and reel him in a little bit, and actually running all the way up to the top of the racetrack. I don't know, that might be helping him a little bit. His gap to Zarfos is about 1.7 seconds, and we'll keep track of that quick to see if it goes down a little bit. I think it's actually getting worse now.
It seems so. Tough racing right now. It's really just hard to catch up. A lot of shuffling around in the pack that's put Fritz back here in third, so interesting to see another caution really group these guys up, and they know they have to give something to Perigo. They can't let him get away. So
they have to try at least, as we're going to have 20 to go at the stripe this time for Brett Perigo. 20 more laps around the track when you've already done 35. I don't know. What do you think Brett Perigo is thinking about right now?
That's exact. I think he might be thinking about what he may eat after this race. I think he already is considering if he's going to go DoorDash something, he might already be ordering it with his other hand. He could be texting and driving at the moment. That's how smooth he is going around this place.
Very true. He's in such a rhythm, you almost think he could do it with his eyes closed for a lap or two.
You know, if we had a face cam, I would not be surprised if he did have his eyes closed for some of this.
you go back to the face cam, and he's not even sitting at his desk anymore. He's not even, like, driving the car. It's just like that. He's so good at it that he is like doing with his mind or something.
Yeah, it's on autopilot at that point.
The car is on autopilot right now.
Yeah, he has it in cruise control. I think that's how that works.
That's probably, yeah.
Yeah, most likely.
It is a street stock. It's a street car, right?
Exactly.
I mean, it's completely street legal.
It's stock.
It's stock.
Exactly.
It's straight off the showroom floor.
This is from the Gene Lotta Ford, just 2 minutes from the track.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree with
modification. Maybe they duct tape the 21 on the side.
Yeah, they probably you have to paint or duct tape on a number, but
yeah.
I mean, it's like
than that.
It's like they always say, right? Win on Sunday, sell on Monday.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, quite literally. So, see what you can do here on a Saturday night here around Lincoln, pulling away. So we're going to get close to 15 laps to go.
Yeah, and Brett Perigo, we've had no trouble, nothing to worry about with the front end of this grouping. He's getting closer, but I think that we've actually I was going to say we've tapered off on catching up to the tail end of the field.
Blazer may make this interesting here. If he slows him down, Zarfos is not too far behind.
Yeah,
so
that's
not super close, but
especially we haven't seen anybody deal with lap traffic at all yet. We'll see if Brett's good at it.
Perigo hasn't dealt with traffic at all this entire night. So
no,
that'll be interesting to see.
No, it's up to us. It's up to him to kind of figure out. Are we going to see him run more like a Michael Schumacher kind of deal where you can't pass traffic, or are we going to have an Ayrton Senna on our hands?
Yeah, going to be interesting to see how he approaches this. Going to catch up to him within the next few laps or so. So Blazer could make this interesting. He's the host of this race, but it looks like he's going to pull down low. May let him pass. Yes, he will indeed. So
yes.
Clean racing out of Blazer. Respectable guy. You got to expect that.
Yeah, absolutely. So he stays out of the way for Brett Perigo, who goes around the outside. So that's one lapped car. We'll have to see if everybody else follows suit.
I have a feeling Jack Young will not be as easygoing as Bobby Blazer was there.
That's a fair assessment.
Young had a good night going for him and had a lot of things happen. Won the consolation race, but shouldn't have been there to begin with.
Very true. Well, he hasn't really rebounded all that well, and we've had a couple opportunities for him to do so. Mm-hmm. So
tough to see. Tough night for him for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely a few instances he would like to take back tonight.
So Brett Perigo, we've watched him for a while. Let's check back with Zarfos.
See what he's doing. Running that low line on the
Man,
turn.
he is Alan Crimes out of turn number 2, isn't he?
He really is, yes. Incredible to watch. Just wish he was fighting for the leagues. He's running a little bit of a different line, but unfortunately too far back to put up a fight.
It's not boding well for the lap times. He's about 3.5 seconds behind the leader right now. Mm-hmm. So unless we had a yellow to bunch things back up, we are at 10 laps to go, and it will be 9 this time as Brett Perigo comes under the start-finish line and the flag booth. Now the 19Z goes through as well. Gets a little bit of the wall there too, Matt.
Yeah. I mean, looking at the times here, Zarfos is 2 seconds off the pace every lap of Perigo. Perigo, obviously the fastest guy on the track, but Fritz actually not too far off him, less than a second off of his last lap time. So if there's a caution here, could see an interesting battle between those two. Fritz has been fast all night.
Yeah, Fritz's lap times are not too shabby right now. He doesn't have enough time left to make up the time to get a run on second. But if something were to happen to Jeremy, maybe some tough luck comes the 19Z's way, I think we could see Chris Fritz putting up a battle for the second spot at the end of this one.
He's running an interesting line. I'm interested to see how his lap time looks compared to last time. Yeah, a little bit slower, so not surprised there. About 2 seconds off exactly from Perigo's time.
But still faster than Zarfos.
Oh, yeah. No, he's been very consistently quicker than second, but just too far behind and not enough time to catch him.
Yeah, so we're coming under for 5 laps to go now. Race leader, let's check in on him. He's on the backstretch. There's actually 6. It'll be 5 this time. Jack Young is really backing that car into the corner here. Now we're going to see some lap traffic come into the play a little bit more.
It takes one mistake, one misjudgment to really change this race for Brett Perigo, but as far as I can see, I don't think I'll have any issues. But Jack Young may be a little furious. Who knows?
And watching these cars, keeping them spooled up has been a really great way to keep your momentum. If something were to happen, there's almost sort of an exponential degrade to what your lap times look like, because you get out of the throttle, something happens and you slow down, but then you have to get back up to speed, and it takes a little while to do that.
Takes a little bit to get momentum back into these cars for sure. So interesting to see. I mean, this is where something's going to have to happen to really change this race as we come to 3 to go.
Yeah, if we're going to have the race leader go a little over a mile more. 3/8 of a mile racetrack, 3 laps, that's 9/8 of a mile. It's a mile and an eighth, so we're probably by now under a mile from the checkered.
Yes.
So Jack Young, you see in front of Brett Perigo, that is a lapped car. There's a nice battle right here, actually. This is for 6th. Jeremy Cross and Chris Lynn, as the 2 to go is given to Brett Perigo. We'll check these guys out for a second before we jump back to the 21
racing
car.
here out of Lynn. Love to see that. He had a great night tonight. Just unfortunately, the feature did not play out the way he wanted.
No, it did not. So they're going to come to the line ahead of this guy, who's going to get the white flag. Brett Perigo under the stripe in the 21 car. He has been untouchable and has had mostly a perfect night.
You got to think he's just going to stay in line behind Jack Young, not force anything, just get his car around and take the victory. And, Jack Young being nice, hopping up on the high side.
Oh, they're racing up here. As to the line, your winner of the Eagle Bowl is going to be Brett Perigo in the 21. Jeremy Zarfo is going to come across in 2nd. And 3rd place is going to go to Chris Fritz. But let's jump back and check out this battle. Actually, it's not a battle anymore. Jeremy Cross.
What happened to Cross?
I don't know.
He really fell back. He's behind Young, so we're going to have to take a look at that. That'd be interesting.
We'll check a replay of that as they come to the line here. And Robert Bigeman, who finished 4th. Not a bad run for him.
Yeah, good run for him, considering all things considered that happened to him in this race.
He's backwards. But let's go back real quick. Let's check out this replay of what happens to Jeremy in 1 and 2 before we wrap things up here tonight. So down the front chute and into turn number 1, I think we're going to see a big send. Yep,
there it is.
But Chris Lynn kind of defended a little bit, runs the middle.
Like a defensive line, and Cross just gets out of shape. Yes.
But he didn't hit him. He did that trying to avoid contact.
Yeah, it was a very calculated risk for him, for sure. And, considering where he was, nothing to lose there. So, interesting.
Yes.
Interesting last lap. Cross, you can't blame him for going for it.
No, you can't. Well, what we have now is our official race results that we can display for you. Brett Perigo, Matt, what do you have to say? What did we say about that?
I mean, I'm surprised he didn't win by more. But, great dominant. As we've broken record all night, very disciplined driver. He wasn't putting a wheel wrong, and that's ultimately why he won this race by such a large margin and was uncontested the entire night.
Absolutely. And Jeremy Zarfos comes in 2nd. Started off a little rough. Only took a few laps to get his wits about him. Some luck came his way, and he never turned back.
Yeah, no, tough to see. I mean, it's really, I think he met the ceiling of where he was going to get tonight with Perigo in front of him. Nobody was really going to catch him. So 2nd place should honestly feel like a win tonight with all things considered.
Definitely. Chris Fritz is going to be 3rd, and I think that's a guy we could have maybe seen run for a win, but still had a really great run and was very exploracious. Kind of guy you'd expect to put together a good show when you see somebody running all over the racetrack like that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. I mean, it would have been interesting to see. He was the 2nd fastest car in the second half of that race. Just got caught up in a little bit of trouble early that really he had to fight back from. But all in all, good night for him. You can't be upset with a podium finish.
Absolutely. The rest of the grid looks like so. You got Jaden Bingaman finishing 4th in the 88 car, scored as the 26. Jimmy Barr finishes out the top 5 in the 12 machine. Then you've got Christopher Lynn, his teammate, in the Turn 2 Terribles machines. Jack Young comes home P7. Jeremy Cross in 8th. Could have been a little higher, but got things a little squirrely on that last lap. Robert BBlazeVintage's going to end up P9, and 10th goes to Austin Ripp, with Brayton Lasser and Kenny Swigert, a.k.a. the Dark Horse, rounding out the 12-car field for the showdown tonight. I don't think we've got any of our drivers present for post-race. Let's see if... we got it all here together. So, I don't know. Well, we got somebody going backwards on the racetrack here.
Bingaman making sure his car passes post-race inspection.
Yes.
Like,
or making sure...
Actually, just making sure they don't have anything to inspect at all.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting strategy.
Might have had an illegal car in that number 88 machine.
Interesting to see.
I think we have our second place finisher. And why don't we go ahead and try to talk to him? Let's bring Jeremy in and see... or can I do that? Oh, I can't do that. I can't bring him into the booth. Bobby, if you're watching right now, give us permission so that we can drag people around in the Discord so that I can get our second place finisher into the broadcast booth and we can talk to him. I don't know if we're going to be able to get a hold of him. Well, actually, why don't we just go to him? Let's bring ourselves to Jeremy. Jeremy, it's Joe Donahue here. We got you live. You finished 2nd. That was a pretty good run for you.
Yeah, wasn't too bad. I just had to get in rhythm there, and still never felt like I got one based on Perigo's performance. But we'd race with Brett a lot, and I know what he does outside of a wing sprint car, so I can give him crap about that because I'll beat him, 99 out of 100 times in those. But put him in something slow. He tends to be really good.
And talk about running something slow here, because I know we're not used to seeing cars of this sorts at Lincoln regularly. What kind of a challenge was this for you? Maybe if you're more based on the sprint car side or what you're used to, was this a challenge for you, or do you feel like you kind of got your feet under yourself pretty quick tonight?
I'm usually pretty good at adapting to these things, especially fixed setup, right? I'm not going to get beat by a setup, so usually pretty quick adapting, and I think I was there. I ran maybe 25 practice laps, and the track state changed, and I could have went a little harder in qualifying. Still, I think was 4th or 6th maybe. But I think really what happened is turn in on entry, how hard you turn the car in, how far you pitch the car, throttle up, throttle down in line, was super important. And if you could duplicate it over and over again, it sounds like it's easy on a slow car. But I was telling the guys halfway through the race, I had too much force feedback in my wheel because I couldn't get the car to turn on entry like I wanted it to, which kind of screwed up the rest of the corner. So I think if I was able to get that more consistent, I'd have been, stay within 3 seconds of Brett instead of 5 or whatever it ended up there at the end.
Well, that's definitely kind of what it looked like. It was tough to see the way it went with the track, and it didn't really give you time to make the changes before Brett got away from you. But like you said, so good on the track. But Jeremy, same to you. I mean, that was a really great performance for you, and as a result of it, you're going to be on hand for a $50 gift card to BBlazeVintage, a free paint from Run-Ins Racing's Designs, and a 3D printed trophy on behalf of the event tonight. Is there anything else you want to shout out, or anybody maybe behind you or with you with the Turn 2 Terribles group and your own photography scene that you want to shout out here on the broadcast before we set you loose?
Well, based on running second and getting all that stuff, thanks to you guys. I mean, I didn't really join to get gifts or prizes or anything. I was like, hey, you know what? I'm an old guy and a dad. I'm home on a Saturday night, so Volusia's rained out. Let's go race some street stalkers. And so thank you to you guys. But yeah, Turn 2 Terrible guys. PA Posse kind of filled the room there a little bit. So those guys, we're always up for something fun to do. So thanks to all those guys.
Absolutely. Well, we really do appreciate you guys coming out tonight, and congratulations on a good run and a good showing for yourself and all your buddies out here. We really, really appreciate it.
No, thank you. Appreciate it. We'll look forward to coming back again.
Yes, sir. That's what we like to hear. And that is Jeremy Zarfos of the Turn 2 Terribles podcast. You can catch his own photography stuff out there. Jeremy Cross and him and CP Racing Photography and myself and Bobby Blazer. And I think what we're going to do right now, while we have a minute, I don't think we're going to get the winner of the race or third place, but we can get our number one in our hearts, Bobby Blazer, who was the host of the show. And we're going to get him in through FaceTime. So if you give it a quick second here, he'll join Matt and myself. Let's try to get him. There,
you guys killed it.
there we go. We got Bobby. Bobby, we got you on the stream here. Final words on the broadcast. I think we got second place in for an interview. Don't know if we're going to get first or third, but we might go ahead and wrap this up with you. But as the presenting sponsor, as the host, as the handsome man, what are your thoughts at the end of the night?
I'm glad that everybody had fun. I just wanted to host an event that was meaningful to me because that's my favorite racetrack that I met all of my friends at, and I get to see races at with Joe Donahue and soon-to-be new friend Maddie Faust. And I thought it'd be cool to just kind of keep it more local, not have it. I mean, I posted and whatnot about it, but not have it too big or have mad people in it. So, I mean, it looked like it was fun, at least up front for a little bit, and it was clean. So that's all you could ask for, I guess, in an event that's kind of for fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And for BBlazeVintage and the Eagle Bowl, is this something we're going to see again? Are we going to have a second annual Eagle Bowl?
Oh, man. Maybe. There's some other stuff, like I think it's really cool with what I have planned for this year to get more involved in not only sim racing and host events, but with a lot of local people. So there's plenty of things I can mimic and just change the name of to fit my branding, such as the National Eagle Open, Eagle Speed Week. We could just do whatever, and it's going to be a lot of fun with lots of different things. And now that I actually know how to set up a session and host an event, I think that you can expect more. That'll be just as much fun.
Absolutely. Hey, the sky is the limit, Bobby. So anybody else you want to thank and shout out here before we set you loose for 10:09 on a Saturday night?
Well, first, I want to thank my brother, Joe Donahue, Gavin Carr. He's an absolute beast. When I thought about doing this event, there was no other person I'd ever want to stream it in any other format other than my man Joe. And that's no lie. That's no lie. Right hand or whatever y'all believe in. That's a fact. So thank you to him, of course. He did a lot of the back end work that I had no idea how to do. He helped me set up the session. He's such a beast. He's such a king. And for him and what he's doing with the trophies and stuff, like, he always goes above and beyond because he's a beast. Thanks to Matt, of course, he co-hosted. He's such a natural on the microphone. He's making me reconsider what I'm going to school for. Maybe we can trade spaces.
Maybe we can work something out.
Go ahead, King. Maybe what?
Maybe we could work something out. We'll see.
Word? Yeah, we'll see. So obviously, I want to thank y'all two first. I want to thank all of the people who helped put it on. Of course, Apex Media, Nate and Cole helping out with some of the prizes with the photos. They, man, it's their photos are so good. Like I think a lot of people take good photos, but their stuff is so good and just more dynamic. Like, they shoot a lot of different stuff, and their pictures they look so good. So check them out, Apex Media. They provided me with the picture of Michael Millard, Devin Borden, Aaron Bollinger, and Dylan Norris, who they kindly enough signed all of the photos. And 4 people from the feature are randomly going to get selected to receive whichever one they want, and a T-shirt of that driver. So shout out to Dylan Norris, Aaron Bollinger, Devin Borden, and Michael Millard, of course. So I appreciate them. everybody else that sponsored it. You know, it was a lot of people. Gavin, of course, he was in there, and just he's done a lot for me, and really put a lot of effort into what he's done, and I'm so happy to see him grow. And second place is getting a free paint scheme. So I don't know anybody that paints cars better than Gavin Newton. And if you don't believe me, go to Daytona and look at half of the damn ARCA field, because they're all, try not to cuss, they're all, half of the effing fields Gavin Newton cars. So shout out to him. Shout out to Clayton, CP Photography. He's a young king. He's working on it. He's a beast. He does the best he can. I love to see him in the trenches doing his stuff in Delaware. He doesn't really shoot sprint car stuff. He shoots big blocks and whatnot as well. Of course, 47 Technology. What a beast company that is, and all they do. Best 3D printing I've ever had. Best 3D printing I've ever seen. So be on the lookout on his page when he. I don't want to spoil it, but just make sure you PA Posse fans are keeping an eye on that. Unless a lawsuit shuts us down, him down, not us. I'm not involved.
What loss? So, I don't make any money.
I actually don't make any money either. That's why, this is all just for fun. But other than that, Dune Witch on Dirt, of course, my guy Evan, I'm happy to see him. The winner gets to be on that podcast for a few minutes. So they do a lot of dirt racing stuff. They're located in South Carolina, North Carolina area. So they're just starting out. They have their first, 9 or 10 episodes. And each one of them have been bangers, not only getting drivers, getting crew chiefs. And I think y'all need to keep your eye on that page, because Dune Witch on Dirt, they're on the up, stock rising emoji. But other than that, I can keep going, because I appreciate everybody that showed up and helped with the event and was supportive and had a good time. So I appreciate everybody that came. I appreciate the people who hosted it. I appreciate the 2 people who broadcasted it and everybody that was involved.
Thank you very much, Bobby. We'll let you go here, and we'll appreciate you coming on board before we wrap up the broadcast, and hope you enjoyed it as much as we did.
And thank you, Bobby.
Yeah, and thank you for putting it together. This was Bobby's idea, and he does deserve to get the credit, because he did a lot of the setup for it too. He turned himself into a dog on me. All right, well, we're gonna set you off there. We're gonna take it easy, Bobby. Well, Matt, we've done it. I don't know how we did it, but we've done it.
Hey man, great racing all night. You can't be upset with that. Obviously, towards the second half of the feature, started getting a little drug out, a little bit of a gaps between the cars. But I mean, just masterclass racing out of Parago. The best guy won tonight, and would have liked to have seen a little bit more battle for the lead, but it is what it is. That's racing. You're not going to get perfect things every time, but you're going to get people that are going to try and do everything they can. So
absolutely. Well, with that, some good words on behalf of Matt Faust here to wrap us up. Thank you, everybody who's tuned in and who stuck it out. If you're still watching, God bless you. Go get something to drink. It's something alcoholic or something warm or both. I don't know. But yeah, thank you everybody for coming out to the broadcast. Thank you everybody who jumped in to do the race tonight. Big shout out to Matt Faust for joining me here. This is the first broadcast we've done together since like 2016 or something.
Yeah, it's been quite a while.
Back when we were doing R Factor videos during our summer breaks in high school and middle school. Yeah, those were good days.
Good times.
Go ahead and, there's links in the description to all of our partners. Hit the subscription button here. I'd really appreciate it. I mean, you don't have to. Like, you can, or you don't have to. So it's up to you. But thank you for coming out, everybody. Thanks to our partners. On behalf of Matt Faust, I'm Joe Donahue from the virtual Lincoln Speedway. Take it easy, and we will see you guys next time.